As many of you might remember, they're down 4 heading into the fourth quarter, and there's a number of unforced errors by the Union team that allowed the Radicals to get back in that game.
Goldenberg testing Kanaki deep and Valley. Madison doing everything that they can to stunt Chicago's deep attack, but Chicago doing a really good job of just taking the open passes here, working quickly, but there a big rejection from Will Casperson right on the disc in the center of the field, up now to Coolidge. Madison doing a good job of getting into their drives quickly, but a swilly pass. Robinson now with it, over to Hearn. Hearn, a free agent addition from Minnesota. Pulling specialist and big thrower. Figures to be an important part of their counterattack here in the red zone, going every other with Valley. Valley just carving something up to Hearn. Nobody in the area, and an easy break conversion. Here we get set to resume play with the Madison offensive unit on the field. Coolidge taking over the far side of your screen there. Looking for Goldenberg just outside of the end zone. Probably some two-man ultimate. There's a nice floater into space from Goldenberg. Finds Coolidge's breadbasket. Again, just on the doorstep. Finds DiLorenzo. And Madison pull back within 1. Nice, quick response there from the Madison O-line coming in after the timeout.
Panic can set in pretty quickly because 7 seconds is not a long time. So, when the Radicals defense is clicking and taking away that first option, it really does make it difficult for offenses.
And there you see Weiss freeing himself up, finding a dart to Barker, who hangs on for the tough catch and an all-important Union hold. Barker quiet.
Impressive. What he can do both with the disc in his hands and receiving is just remarkable at this point.
Josh Wilson looking quickly downfield for Coolidge, and there is a fast break score in transition for the Madison offense. Probably their cleanest hold here of the night. Just moving.
And credit to the defense there. They saw that Barker was trying to rush the action. They threw on a quick double and really made that tough for him. And he had to throw a bailout throw that was ultimately deep.
Wam with a big save there on the goal line, but floats up some swill. Need a little bit of help, and who else but Kai DiLorenzo coming down for it. He's been the answer here on some muddy offensive. Out of a dead disc scenario there from Goldenberg. Ooh, and a big layout there, and a Callahan from Thomas Coolidge. Coming off of the backside, Houdini grab there for the veteran. I believe his first Callahan of his career.
And what a veteran play right there. Thomas Coolidge stepping up to start the second half. That is the exact momentum.
Probably could have taken a beat or two more to let his receiver get open. And another break opportunity here for the Union tonight, their 10th of the evening. Only able to convert on 2 so far as a Goff throw into space. Finds Hearn, he collects, shoots back across field for Lance, who's wide open in space, and the Union push their lead back to 2. You see Weiss again around the disc, over to Pappas. Pappas playing a really nice fill roll here on offense for the Union. Union down a couple of their offensive starters as Shanahan digs out a pass there, keeping possession alive. Up quickly to Giannis. Giannis probing, pump faking, trying to find something. Pivoting over to Kaminsky. Kaminsky pump faking the defender into the ground. But Chicago can't find the mismatch advantage quick enough, and Madison resets. The Union looking like they've really gotten on their level-headed execution here in this quarter. Just 2 turnovers so far as Pavel punches it into Shanahan for the second straight break and the 3-goal lead for Chicago here with just over. Coolidge here with the disc. Madison needing a hold here. DiLorenzo testing out Wilson in space, and Valley eats it up.
No, he certainly wasn't a guy that we were looking at as one of their key players, but that's what's been unique about this Chicago team is they have certain guys stepping up this season that maybe they didn't expect it, or maybe they did, and the general AUDL community didn't. You know, the Jeff Weiss of the world, and now Sam Kaminsky in this game, and that, you know, that gives your team a ton of confidence going into the playoffs, because you need some of those, you know, secondary players to have big games in certain moments. It's not always going to be Pavel or Ross, so that's got to give him a ton of confidence.
Valley with the push pass to Barker. Wams misconstrued high release, not finding any Radicals player there. In the second half, they're now 10 of 15 on offensive possessions too. 67% offensive efficiency here tonight for the Union on the road. And there, Shuey unleashing into space for Wam, and that is the deep look score that Madison has been desperately searching for all night. As they're so far sitting at 0. They do have a 5-goal lead. And there, Valley smacks down the intended pass for Wilson. And an opportunity for Madison to possibly turn this game around. Fritters away. Here you see a little bit more of a patient counterattack from Chicago as we tick towards the midway mark in the fourth quarter. Union understanding that the clock now providing an 8th defender for them effectively. Just needing to bleed time to potentially dispatch their rivals as Goff finds first, easily up line. A very uncharacteristic performance here from Madison Radicals defense, but a big block there from rookie Matt Tucker. He has been just shy of sensational here in his first season for the Radicals. A big hammer over the top, looking for the quick break score. And there's the second of the game for the Radicals. Little bit of momentum here in the waning moments. And like you said, Colin, just showing a little bit of stuff here, I think, is really important for the Radicals as they close out their 2022 campaign.
Or had been stepping up in Kai Marcus and Jake Ruben Miller. They had both been poised to really set themselves up to have big seasons for the Radicals. So those are two big missing pieces, certainly as kind of a young core.
And there you see a nice two-man game between Chicago's two bigs in Shanahan and Weiss. Going through a pretty significant roster overhaul this season, but once again, looking like a championship team as their rookie Asher Lance putting a little exclamation point on the end of this game for Chicago. They look for another break score game to pile it on here late, adding a little bit. The insult maybe, but Shuey gets the kick block. DiLorenzo looking to reward him immediately off of the turn, and that's a bookend score. And some excitement here for the home crowd. So Radicals flag gets one last run up the sideline here on a beautiful summer night in the capital.
And one thing that folks at home probably won't see, you might see.
You know, we call it the capital city of Ultimate, I think is just a cheeky way of acknowledging that we're the only team in the AUDL to reside in the capital city, I believe. But it really feels that way with the way that these fans, again, just stick through to the end of the game. Chicago getting another score as we reach the end of regulation here at Breese Stevens Field. Union pulling out the win, 21-15, putting the nail in Madison's playoff dreams this season. Madison will not make the playoffs for a third consecutive season.